No matter what's happening in the economy, no matter what's happening in the real estate market, this is a life hack for you to build wealth inside of real estate investing. This is the concept of off-market deals. Where are you gonna find great deals in 2023 and beyond? Let's say that we have here John, and John owns the house at 123 Main Street. Okay, so John is in a predicament. John wants to sell his house, but he doesn't know much about the real estate market. So John has really two options, okay? The first option, which is the option that most people take, is they come down here to their friend Dave, who is an agent, okay? And then Dave takes this property and Dave lists this property on the market. Okay, now on the market can mean he puts it on Zillow, but really it's going to be somewhere called the MLS, which is the multiple listing services. It's pretty much the Zillow before Zillow was around, and it's still really outdated, but it's the official spot to list real estate whenever an agent is representing them. Okay, so Dave is going to go here, and then from the MLS, what's going to happen is this is going to get blasted out to a ton of different people who are interested in buying the property, right? All these people down here want to buy the property, okay? So let's say that you are over here. This is you down here in green, okay? And you want to buy this property. Is it smart to go into a bidding competition with all of these people for this property? No. Okay, when you want to get a good deal on something, you want to be the only person bidding and looking at a property. So what do we do instead? What we do is we want to get to John before John goes to Dave. Okay, let me say that again. We want to get to John before John goes to Dave. Effectively, we just want to talk to John about his property. We don't want to deal with Dave. We don't want to deal with all these other people. It just wants to be us and John. Okay, and so whenever that happens, when it's just us and John, this is going to be called an off-market deal, because what's going to happen is no more MLS, no more on-market, and by the way, no more real estate agent or Dave. We just want John and we just want you, okay? And we want to have a direct conversation with John about 123 Main Street. And so what do we need to do? What we need to do is we need to go build a list of these 123 Main Streets. We need to have at least 100, preferably 1,000 of what we'll call leads, okay? And then what we have to do is we have to figure out, of all these different 123 Main Streets, right? We're gonna have a lot of different addresses down underneath this list. But we need to figure out who are the people who own these properties, and then we need to talk to these people. My favorite method is sending these people a piece of mail that says, hey, I'd like to buy your property, okay? That's the most direct method. There's other ways like texting, cold calling, door knocking, putting hangers on doors. There's a lot of different ways, guys. But the core of what this video is going to be about is how do we get out there and how do we find these off-market deals? How do we find the Johns who want to sell their property and we come in contact with them before they go to the Daves, right? Or there's this whole section of people out there like John who don't believe in using Dave because Dave is going to charge them 6%, really 3% and 3% to the two different agents. But let's say this house is worth $300,000. John's going to have to pay Dave and the other agent $18,000. Okay, now that's a large chunk of money, right? It could be, again, if you're paying $18,000 and if you have debt on the property, that could be half of the money you were going to get out of it. You got to pay to a real estate agent to list it out there. So if you're a real estate agent, no offense, but I just like to cut them out completely, put more money in John's pocket, and also get rid of all the other bidders from the MLS, from Zillow, or whatever it is. Okay, this works for residential property as well as commercial property, which I'm talking about. We're going to put this away, and I'm going to start to share my screen with you. So I've been using this company for a couple years now. This company is called Property Radar, and Property Radar is going to help you very quickly build out those 1,000 lead lists. So I'm just gonna come to Property Radar and we'll log into my account real quick. So now that we're on the inside of Property Radar, what is so cool is the many different ways that you can use this tool. But just let me give you a quick example, okay? Let's say that that you are a real estate investor in Orlando, Florida, and you can search anywhere in the US here, but let's say that you're a real estate investor in Orlando, Florida. There's a lot of different views that this thing can give you, but one of my favorite ways to use this is we could come over here and we can sort and filter properties by all of these. The location, the property type, the owner, the value in the equity, the property taxes, if it's in foreclosure, when the last time it sold is, if it's listed or if it's not listed. There are a ton of different ways to do this. But let's just say that you were in Orlando, Florida, and you wanted to go after the Winter Garden market, which is a great market, right? So if you just said, hey, you know, I'm interested in Winter Garden, and I want to come through and I want to draw a map here. I'm interested from here to here, up this side and down and then back. Boom. It's going to pull every single property in here inside of this shape that we drew, and it can make a list. So it's got 36,460 properties right there. All I'd have to do is hit make a list, or I can download these to Excel and start to reach out to these people who do. So it's extremely powerful, but that's all properties. And of course, as a real estate investor, you should be picking a niche, whatever you want to say. And you should be narrowing down into what kind of property you want to buy. So let's say, for example, that's great that we came in that map area, but let's come back and let's filter down the property type. So let's say that we wanted to buy multifamily 2 to 4 units. Okay, and that's duplex, quadplex, triplex, multifamily dwelling. Let's add that to the criteria, and now you can see we've only got 263 of those properties. So a much narrower list for people, of owners, for us to reach out to, right? We don't want to reach out to 36,000 people because we're not even interested in 35,800 of those if we are a multifamily investor, right? So then I can come back down and I can say, well, you know, let's find it to where the owner lives out of state. Okay, so you'd come over here to owner, and then we're going to go to is the same address, and you could say no. So what does that tell us? The owner does not live at the property if the owner's address is not the same. So we'll add that criteria, and then we'll get rid of from 263 down to 174. So now we know we're only looking at properties where the owner does not live there. But let's go even further, and let's go to owner. And let's go same state, and we'll say no. Let's add that criteria. So this is people whose mailing address is different, and the mailing address for the owner is out of state. And inside of this shape right here, there are 21 people, 21 properties that match that. So we could come into this property right here. It's an investment group. Just click on it, and what's going to happen is really cool. It's going to start to give us all the details on the property. So this property was built in 1980. It's a 6'4" with 2,500 square feet, and we can start to come through here and get all of the information on it extremely quickly. We can also see when this property was purchased, if they got a loan on it. It gives us so many good details on these properties. But again, what's most powerful is the ability to make a list, download it, and then start to reach out to those people. Now you can say, well, what if I don't want that shape? What if I want to do, you know, within 50 miles from me? Okay, so we can get rid of this shape, and then let's say we come back here to the shape. Whoops, we'll come back to Orlando, Florida. Right now we're searching everything. So there are currently 195,805 properties in the US, 2 to 4 units where the owner lives in a different state. That's pretty cool. Let's come down here to shape, and let's say that you live in Winter Garden. We're going to move this to here, and then you say, hey, you know, I want to look within, maybe it's an hour drive of me, and maybe that is 50 miles. So you can see in the bottom right of the screen, we're searching out a 50-mile radius right there. And now it's going to pull everything that's within 50 miles of you. Now, it's not going to be drive time, of course, because roads aren't perfectly straight. But inside of a 50-mile radius of you, there are 1,336 potential properties. Whenever we want to reach out to the Johns, these are the people, these are the properties that we want to look at and we want to market to in an off-market format. We don't want to wait for these properties to come on market. Now, you're going to reach out to 1,336 people. A response rate that is good, you guys, a response rate that is good is 1 to 2%. So that means if we reached out to all 1,336 of these people, we can expect anywhere from 13 to 26 responses from owners. About 1% of people are thinking about selling. 99% of people are going to say, hey, and And you know what? That's okay. You're looking for the people who are looking for you. You're not looking to make every single person happy. Some people are going to be mad at you. But guess what? I've done this and I've sent people letter after letter after letter. And on the 6th or 7th letter, they've told me, man, you know, I really wanted to call you. I got busy. Thank you so much for sending me another letter because I lost the other one and I really wanted to talk to you about this. So again, we're looking for the people that are looking for us and we don't care about everybody else. So if you want to learn exactly what letter it is that I'm sending to people, I've got this program called Deal Finder Mastery and it will actually help you. I've got 12 letters that I send people and I'll give you the exact scripts. I sell it for $1,000, but I've got it on discount for people watching my YouTube. That link will be in the description right here. Tell you exactly how that process works. So that is how I use Property Radar to go out and find properties that I want to buy. Because if I was just out there searching and looking up addresses and scrolling through Google Streets, it would take me forever. We have to build a list and then we have to market to that list. So I hope you guys found that valuable. If you want to sign up for Property Radar, I've got a link in the description. It is extremely affordable. It is a great tool to save me hours and made me millions. And I know it has the potential to do the exact same for you. So go sign up for Property Radar right now if you're interested in getting into off-market deals. It is the best tool that I've found. Other than that, be great, subscribe to the channel, share this with a friend who you think might be interested in this, and I'll see you next time.